Hello, folks. This is Dave Feigl from Talking Points, and I did something I've never done before. I did a 5-event road trip, pretty much nonstop in September. And so I've been thinking about it. I've been trying to recover from it. It's been an interesting week of recovery. But and the 5th event was technically in October, but I had to fly out there on September 30th, and so it was included in the September Insider Report because it's all connected. So 5 events. Let's see. The 5 events were started with a Verint Engage in Orlando, and that was when I had a little bit of a break. I spent a little bit of time in New Jersey over the weekend, and then I went to NEAT in San Jose, and NEAT was giving us an update on, and they do an annual event, but I missed last year, so that was a really important update. Then I went to the 5.9 analyst event, which was a great event, and 5.9 hasn't done an analyst event for, I don't know, a year and a half, year and a quarter, something like that. So it was good to catch up with 5.9. Cisco had WebEx 1 after that in San Diego. And let's see, I didn't see it. 5.9 was in what's it called? I want to say cab. It's not right. I can't think of the name in south of the bottom of the Gulf of New Mexico of Mexico. Excuse me. It'll come to me in just a moment. And AWS had their Amazon Connect event in London. So 5 events. That was a lot, and pretty much I had a little bit of a break after NEAT. I went up to Portland to visit my son, but pretty much that was a month of travel, a month of hotels, a month of restaurants, a month of airlines. And people often hear about what I do and the amount of travel I do, and there's a little bit of jealousy. Oh, I wish I did that. I got to go to all these events. Cabo, San Lucas in Mexico is where the 5.9 event was, and but it's work. It is work. You're on the road the whole time, and it gets old, and you lose things. And I had to pack. I'm usually pretty quick about my carry-on luggage, and for this long of a trip, I had to do check luggage, which complicates things and takes more time. So it's actually not as glamorous as you might think it is when you travel this much. Too much of a good thing, as they say. But very interesting trip, very insightful trip, a lot of great education. I'm very grateful for the opportunity. Key takeaway, these events were kind of diverse and hard to compare, but certainly AI was the main theme of every event. For the past couple of years, we've been saying that AI is taking over the industry, both UCaaS and CCaaS, but it's changing, I think, more than people realize. It's not just new features. It was just new features for a while. It's really turning into completely reimagining processes, changing workflows. It's changing the importance of certain apps and functions. It's changing business models. It's changing the way companies are billing for their services. It's changing the go-to-market. It's actually having a huge impact on the channel. The channel is becoming much more important because they're the ones who have to deploy it and implement it and support it and deliver the ROI. So AI is going to be continuing to be a big narrative. I do believe that we are in a bit of a hype cycle and there's going to be a bit of a correction, but I think that basically AI is here, and we're in the very early stages of agentic. I think agentic is, largely immature and kind of cute the way it's being used right now, but everyone's talking about agentic, and there's just so much energy going into AI right now. So that's certainly the big consistent theme of all these events. But what I really wanted to do was get into some awards of these trips. I thought I would issue some best of awards for all of these events. So I'm going to start off with probably the biggest change or the biggest reset. There's some big changes going on in the industry, and so which ones have the biggest? And neither one of these are really AI related. Actually, I'm happy to say. I'm going to do a runner-up and I'm going to do a winner. And so the runner-up is Five9. And Five9 is going through some significant changes with its leadership team. There has been a lot of changes at various leadership levels. And then, of course, the CEO, Mike Berkman, has announced that he's going to step down as well. And they're in the current process of trying to find his replacement. Mike is still there and actively running the company, and he'll stay there until they find a replacement. And he's going to move to chairman. But that's a lot of change going on at Five9, and they know it. And they did the best they could at their event, explaining what they know to be true and what they think will be true. And so a lot of change going on at Five9. So I give them the runner-up for the biggest amount of change or biggest reset. But I have to give the actual award to Verint. Verint is acting like everything's normal. And, admittedly, the acquisition was announced just weeks before the actual Verint Engage conference. But being acquired, particularly by private equity, suggests that there's going to be some significant changes at Verint. We don't yet know what those changes are, but they're going to be significant, I'm pretty sure. And the deal hasn't closed yet, so there wasn't really a lot talked about regarding the announcement. So everything was business as usual at Verint Engage. And even Dan, the CEO founder, said that he was planning on staying on. And so, continuing to march to the same drum. And so if you were unaware that the company had been acquired, then you probably wouldn't have even known the company was acquired. Everything was just business as usual at Verint Engage. But I would say that there's some big changes about to occur there. So I'm going to give them the award for biggest change or reset going on of these 5 companies, of these 5 events. Next award is most accessible executives. A big part of these analyst events is obviously the PowerPoint presentations, and of course executives tend to do some of those, but there's also the informal conversations, the lunches, the dinners, where you get to just speak casually to various executives. And so some events the executives leave, some events the executives really aren't available, some events they're very stressed out and busy because there's so much going on. And so in this case, it was actually pretty easy. Neat, the CEO, Janine, couldn't make the event last minute. I know she wanted to be there, but she couldn't make it. She became ill and had to cancel her attendance. And so that one was out of the running. Who was the other one out of the running? Verint. It was a big event, Engage. They had all their partners there, they had their customers there. So the executives were very well booked up the whole time. And I didn't get to interact with the executives like I would have liked to have. But it was understandable that when you combine an analyst event with a customer event and a partner event, things get a little tricky. And so I didn't get to interact with very many of the partners there, or executives there. So those 2 were out of the running, which really left the 3. And so the runner-up category, I'm going to give Cisco and Five9 ties. Five9 was great. Mike Berkman was available. There were several executives there that were available, but there were probably more executives not hired that were not there yet, that haven't been hired or named. And so that's why they're in the runner-up category. Cisco had their executive, their whole WebEx team was there. They had Anurag was available. G2 was there and available. I spoke to G2 several times. And so Cisco gets credit at the runner-up category. But there's so much going on that they were scattered and spread real thin. And so the times that you got them were cherished and valuable. But understandably, they were very busy with their partners and customers that were also at the event. So I have to give the winning category to Amazon. This was a Connect event, and Pasquale, or sometimes known as PQ, was available the whole time. And he's really kind of an interesting person. I would say, with Dan Bodner at Verint being the only other one. I guess Zoom too, Eric at Zoom, but there's not many what I call founders in the industry that are still running their businesses. Now PQ isn't the founder of Amazon, but he was the founder of Connect, and he's been there for 8 years, and very knowledgeable. And it was so great to have him so available and so accessible, participating in all of the sessions, not just the ones where he was presenting. So I give him to give the most accessible to Amazon or AWS. It's confusing. It's technically AWS, but the product is Amazon Connect. And don't ask me to explain that. Okay, so next category, live my life in hotels. I appreciate a good hotel. So the best hotel now, this one, the runner-up is Amazon. They put the analyst in a hotel I never heard of called the Montcalm. And I don't know if I think of Mountbatten. He was killed by the IRA 30 years ago. But Montcalm is a chain of hotels I've never heard of. This was the Montcalm Royal London House. Very nice hotel, very fancy. Had all these fancy light switches I couldn't figure out and things like that. But I think it was primarily selected. Certainly wasn't convenient to the airport, that's for sure. Wasn't convenient to the O2 Arena, that's for sure. And it wasn't convenient to Oru's house because some of us went over to see Oru from IDC the last night. She lives in London. So terribly inconvenient for those things, but extremely convenient to the 2 Amazon buildings that we went to. And so very nice hotel, very convenient location for Amazon, and highly recommend that hotel. Very nice. But I have to give the winner in this category, to a 5-9. Their event in Cabo was at the Montage, which is a ridiculously over-the-top, very nice hotel. And I'll just say that Mike Birkeland is not the only CEO in our industry that has a place there. Very nice place for comms executives, and very nice place for golfers, which I'm not. And so that was a very luxurious hotel. I particularly liked the outdoor shower that my room had. So very nice room. I had a wonderful pool view and an ocean view at the same time. And they have in the bathroom, they've got the normal stuff that you'd expect in the bathroom, but just outside the bathroom is a private enclosed outdoor shower with living plants and sky view. And it's just a wonderful setup. Best hotel is the Montage if you ever have a chance to stay there. All right, the next category is best swag. Analysts get a lot of swag. A lot of it stays in the hotel. I had to be fair. A lot of it stays in the hotel, and a lot of it, for whatever reason, is Moleskine notebooks. I don't really know why Moleskine notebooks are so popular, but I think almost every event you get a Moleskine notebook, and of course, someone like myself goes to 20 to 30 events a year, so I've got a lot of Moleskine notebooks. My favorite notebooks, by the way, are the ones with spirals, the ones that can lay flat. Those are the better ones. But generally, I'm trying to move off of paper. I'm doing things on my computer. I'm doing things on my Remarkable tablet. And so notebooks are not that big for me. And so, but I've got a wonderful collection, and I'm planning on actually in my retirement building a home out of them. So bring them on. I love the notebooks. So the runner-up best swag goes to Neat. Neat gave out these nice hats. And, logo wear is a common thing that we get, and most of it is kind of junky. A lot of it is good. I don't want to say that one, but some of it's kind of junky, but some of it's really good. And what I really like about this hat is how much thought Neat put into it, because Neat.no the .no stands for Norwegian, not what you're supposed to say to the sales rep. And so they looked for a Norwegian company. And so this is Varsity. And Varsity, we all know from their sweatshirts and t-shirts and stuff like that. And apparently the Varsity guys decided to sit down and make the ideal hat. And they put a lot of thought into it. And I appreciate that, because I do appreciate a good hat. No plastic in the back, good materials. It came with a care kit. It has on here the, what do you call it? The little pin here. It did have on here. Maybe it fell off. That's weird. A little, it's right here. Okay. Little emblem for Varsity Signature. That's their top of the line stuff. I think it stands for Varsity Signatures, VS. And so I really like the amount of thought that went into this because I do like a good hat. But I have to give the winning award to Five9. They took the time to make a mini me for every analyst that attended. And as superheroes, because they consider analysts to be superheroes, which is a very nice exaggeration of the truth. But and they gave little nicknames on each one of them. So the amount of thought and effort that went into this, and logistics of getting them all to the right rooms and everything, a lot of effort and very much appreciated. So best swag goes to Five9. All right, the next category is Best Airport Lounge, which of course has nothing to do with these events, but I do travel a lot and I do tend to go to a lot of airport lounges. And the runner-up is probably Amazon, because I was at the London airport, so I went into the Lufthansa lounge. And of course, European lounges are just so much nicer than most American lounges. And so good food, open liquor, and nice facilities. And so I'm going to give that one to Amazon because they had an event in Europe. And then I'm going to give the award actually to Cisco. Their event was in San Diego, and I was with Zeus Caravala, excuse me. And Zeus has a Chase Sapphire credit card. I don't. And so Zeus invited me into the Chase Sapphire Club at the San Diego airport. And I go, like I said, I go to a lot of clubs. That was a nice club. I have to admit, that was a nice club. We took a selfie there. We posted it. Somebody said, "Are you going to do a live stream?" If you couldn't, so that was a very impressive comment, because we did do a live stream when our flights were canceled on the way to Peru. I think it was 2 years ago. And we had John Arnold and Zeus and myself. And we were stuck in the airport for, 6 hours. And so we did a live stream from the lounge. That was fun. But no, we didn't do a live stream. We instead ate. And they have the barcodes on the table, so you order off the barcode and they bring you the food. We both had hamburgers. They had real quality hamburgers. I was really surprised by an airport lounge. Airport lounges usually have really crappy food. We saw Sheila. I run into Sheila in a lot of airport clubs. I didn't see her in Cabo this time, but last time we were in Cabo for Five9, we were in the same club at the same time. But I run into Sheila in various clubs. Often it's not, I wouldn't be surprised to run into Sheila. So sure enough, there she was. And so then the three of us headed off to our next adventures. Okay, so that brings me to Best Entertainment. Now, this is a tough one because you'd be surprised. I'm not that fun of a person, and so my ideal entertainment is just nothing but sitting around talking to people of the company. But sometimes there's other plans, and people have other ideas, and so I'm going to fall in that second category here. I'm going to give the runner-up category to Verint. Verint actually rented out a part, not all, a part of SeaWorld in Orlando. I didn't know SeaWorld had rides. They rented out 3 rides, and so I did 2 of the 3. I didn't do the standing roller coaster. That didn't look quite right for me, but I did the other 2. I did 1 roller coaster and 1 immersive experience. They didn't have any animal fish tricks, but they had dinner there, and it was a nice event because you could network and talk to people, and I did. I don't think any executives were there, but I talked to some of their partners and I talked to some of their customers, and I talked to a lot of the other analysts, and so very nice event. But the winning category has to go to Amazon, who realized that not only were we going to be in London at the same time as a Lady Gaga concert, but that they actually have a corporate suite for their, now I can't remember the name of the product, but the cashierless stores. Just grab it or something like that. And so they gave us a nice explanation and tour of that. We didn't get to try it, so I just whipped up my own credit card, and it's how you badge into the store with your credit card, not your Amazon thing, because this is not related to Amazon necessarily. And you just put in your credit card, and then you go in and you take something off. I haven't got my credit card bill yet, so I don't know if I was accurately billed. I think I'm the only analyst that actually did that. So that was a nice experience. But of course, the big event was Lady Gaga. I've never seen a Lady Gaga concert before. Very nice opportunity to see that. It was, I'd recommend it if you have the opportunity. It meant that we couldn't do the usual networking that I value because there was no way to have a conversation. But it was a spectacular opportunity, and I'm really appreciative of that. And to show that, I'm giving them the award for best entertainment at their event this year. So very nice, and thank you very much, Amazon. That was wonderful. All right, working along here. Best announcement. You don't always have announcements at analyst events, and sometimes you have future announcements which you can't talk about. But in this case, there were a few announcements, and so pretty easy to pick a winner and runner-up. I'm going to give the runner-up to Verint and their SpikeBot. I thought the SpikeBot was very clever. Basically, if there's some sort of anomaly in the traffic patterns, it identifies what the anomaly is and comes up with trying to understand it, listening to why the calls are coming in and what's going on here, figures out that maybe we need to change a recording or change something because of some incident. And it actually had recommended a script, and actually was able to turn in their demo, turn it into a revenue opportunity. I thought that was a very nice demo. It really showed that showed their AI leadership, showed their outcome capability, and I thought that was a very nice announcement. I like the SpikeBot. However, I'm going to give the best announcement to Cisco. They announced automated quality management, or just AQM, and I think this is an important decision or announcement for a number of reasons. It's been a weakness for Cisco, their whole WEM category, and the last part of WEM is QM. And so they're instead of acquiring a firm like I thought they would do, they decided to build one, and they're doing it with an AI first model and approach. And so I think it's a very important statement. I'm assuming that they're going to announce more of that suite, that WEM suite, more of the scheduling and workflow capabilities, scheduling management, workflow orchestration, management, I don't know, WFO, whatever it stands for. And so I think it's a pretty significant and important announcement, and nice to hear that from Cisco. Okay, just two more here. Best demo. I'm going to give the award to Amazon. And I'm hesitant here because I've seen a very similar demo from another company before, but it was a demo involving travel and having some problems and trying to call in and get this resolved. And travel's complicated because there's so many dependencies and so many characteristics and personalization capabilities, opportunities with travel. And so like I said, I've seen this demo before. It's a hard demo to do. It's a hard demo to deliver. And it was nice to see Amazon there. And so very important. And I think that was great. So thank you, Amazon, for doing that. I'm going to give the award to Five9. And I can't remember if this is confidential or not, so I have to be careful what I say here. But they showed something that other vendors have talked a lot about and haven't been able to deliver. And they showed this capability, and they haven't delivered it yet either, which is why it might be confidential. But they showed a near working demo of some impressive AI capabilities involving their solution that I may or may not be able to speak about. So they win the best demo. The last category is I'm going to give a best AR award. And these events are hard. They're really hard. There are so many pieces to them, so many things to manage. Analysts are inherently a bunch of complainers and whiners, and they have to put up with a lot. They have a lot of constraints. They have a lot of pressure. It's a 2-day, 1-day, 3-day event that has, everything has to go just right, or things get out of whack, particularly flights and things beyond your control. So I'm going to give the runner-up one to 5'9", Laura Mackey. And the reason why is because she did it largely independently. She did a lot on her own. She worked really hard at it, and it was clear how much care and effort and love went into making that event a success. And so I'm going to give her the runner-up award. I'm going to give the winner award to Cisco, but it's not for a person, it's for a team. And I have to say, they are so well coordinated. I've been to a lot of Cisco events, and this was an extreme. I was impressed with how coordinated. For example, the first evening, I had a conversation with one of the executives, and he promised to send me something after that conversation. And to me, when you're at a reception and drinking and meeting all these people and all these conversations, to me, that's a mental note that I need to follow up and get them to send what they promised me, but because I know they won't. When I got back to my hotel room, I had it in my inbox, and it was sent from AR. They said, "This is from your conversation," and it was like, wow, that was proactive. It was not proactive, but it was prompt. It was responsive, and I just had that experience. That was the first night, but it just kept on happening. They always seemed to know where I was. They always you could start a conversation with one of the AR people, and the other one could finish it. Um, they they knew where I was at all the time. They knew what I was doing. They made comments about my questions. I mean, I just was amazed how this team was operating so closely. Even when I left for the airport, they texted me and said, "Are you at the airport? Because you're not here." And it's just like they were just so coordinated and so responsive. I was just I've never seen anything like that. It was I think 3 people acting as one, and it really showed. So that is my road trip awards. And I guess with that, thank you for watching.